Hey, John Dillon here from visualbroccoli.com. Welcome to this session in getting to know the Slide Master. Interestingly, the idea for this lesson kind of came from some recent live presentations I've done at some conferences where I've used audience response pads to poll my audience on certain aspects of whatever I'm presenting. And in two of my sessions, I was going to reference the Slide Master, but I wanted to ask the audience what was their comfort level with using the Slide Master. And to my amazement, I'm finding that the majority of people in attendance are not familiar with what the Slide Masters are. So this lesson is dedicated to them. So what does a Slide Master do? Well, I'm going to go ahead and just hop on this slide right here. Here is a standard PowerPoint slide template that all of us are very familiar with. It's probably the most standard template there is, where you have your title and you have a bullet point. If I right-click anywhere in the gray or off stage here, or up here, just make sure you're not right-clicking on the text, but if I just right-click over here, I can go to Layout, and you'll see you have 9 different options of templates to choose from within PowerPoint. Now, these 9 slides are actually within the Slide Master, which I'm going to take you there in a minute. So if I wanted to make this a title slide, because we just typed this in here where it says, let me just show you. If I go ahead and create a new slide, it gives me click to add title. So here's my content. And here's my bullet point. Now, if I decided, I want to make this a title slide, I just right click here, go to layout, and I'm going to choose title slide. Okay? Same thing up here. Right click, layout, title slide. But what do I need to do if I want to change the color in the background? Well, of course, I can certainly just go up here to design and choose a design here, and it will apply to all the slides. I can also just right click here and modify the background here, make whatever changes I want, and just click on apply to all. That's one way of doing it. But what we're going to do is get more specific. I want to go in and actually change some of the fonts and add logos to all the pages. So this is not going to quite work for me. So I'm going to hit close, and we're going to go to the Slide Master. To get to the Slide Master, we're going to go up to View on our tab up here in PowerPoint and click on this tab that says Slide Master. And now you notice it takes us into this area. And by the way, it's always going to go to the slide that you were last on in PowerPoint. And since that happened to be the title slide, that's why it took me there. But I actually want to be on this slide right here. And this is, you see here, here's the Slide Master. It's number 1. And under the Slide Master, it has a bunch of, let's just call them grandchildren. Okay? So this is basically mimicking whatever this slide is. Now, if I just right-click over here and I go to Master Layout, or excuse me, Format Background, I can go ahead and change the color to all the backgrounds. I can just do this. Now it does it globally. I can do a gradient fill and I can play with this. But what I want to actually do is change the background and use an image. So I'm going to go ahead and use Picture or Texture Fill. And I'm going to go down here and click on File because I'm not going to use this hideous background. So I'm going to click on File. And I'm going to go ahead and grab a pre-made background that we made in a previous tutorial on how to make your backgrounds for PowerPoint in Photoshop. And if you have Photoshop, you can certainly check out that tutorial. I'm going to click an Insert, and you'll notice now it applies it globally. And I'm going to click Close. Now, a few things I need to do here. Obviously, the font doesn't quite work here. So I'm going to just click on the font up here, go to Home, and let's make some changes. Let's change this to yellow. I'm going to do it very quickly here, just for time's sake. And I'm going to add a drop shadow and change this to Arial. And make that bold. Down here, I'm just going to make white. And I'm also going to change this to Arial. Arial is definitely my preference when it comes to text. Add a drop shadow, and that looks great. Now you see it's done it globally to all of these. See, now the text up here is yellow and it's left justified. But in my title slide, that's not what I want. In fact, I want to do something different in my title slide. I'm going to go ahead, and if I do something just on these slides, any of these individually, just click on it, it will only apply to this slide. So now I'm going to right click, go to the background again, format background. I'm going to bring in a different background. So picture or texture fill from file, and I'm going to choose this title slide. And I'm going to hit close. Do not click on apply to all. Click close, and there it is. I'm just going to bring this over, and bring this over here as well. Kind of stretch it out, and obviously I don't want that text to be gray. Let's go with white, and that looks great. Now, one last thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and bring in an image. So insert, picture, and I'm going to come here and grab a logo. And I'm just going to bring that down here, and I get that in place, and maybe just a little bit smaller. And you'll notice now, this is only applied to the title slide. But I actually want to, go ahead and copy this. I actually want to apply it to this slide as well. Now look what happens to all these thumbnails over here when I paste this. It now applies it to all the slides globally. And that's good. I wanted to do that, except my title. So I'm just going to resize this, put it down in the corner. But if you go to my title slide, I already got that logo on it. So I don't want it here to be applied to this slide. So to undo that, all I have to do is, with this title slide selected, come up here, make sure I select Slide Master. The tab is selected. And I'm going to click over here, click on the Hide Background Graphics. And it's just going to get rid of that. And now it's only going to be to that slide. That's it. Let's take a look at this. If I close this, so let's close the Slide Master. And you'll notice now that it has changed all of the slides, with one exception. Actually, there's two exceptions here. It didn't do it to this one because this is a text box. So this is outside the templates. So I just need to change this manually. And I'm going to change the font to Arial as well. And I said 2 locations. I'd have to do it here with my name because this is also a text box. So just be aware of that. So if you have an existing presentation and you've used kind of these generalized slides that PowerPoint uses, and you want to change the look and the color or the background, go ahead and do it in the Slide Master. It'll give you a lot more options. Well, that's all the time we have. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. As always, if you have any questions or suggestions, please drop us a line. Until the next time, hope you always find unique ways to make your presentations more editable for your audience. Take care.